Good morning, everybody. It's something you think will never happen to you, but carbon monoxide can poison and kill people, especially in your sleep. And it happens most often in the winter. A small and inexpensive CO alarm can save your life. Consumer correspondent Karishi Crimes has more on what you need to know.
These 4 beeps mean it's time to get outside immediately.
That signal, that is what's called a 4-temporal pattern is what we refer to it as.
Inside the UL Solutions Research Laboratory just outside of Chicago, David Mills runs hundreds of tests on alarms that are critical to detecting poisonous CO gas before it kills.
Because you can't see it, you can't smell it, and you can't taste it.
Those 4 beeps mean the clock is ticking.
Basically what you want to happen is the higher the concentration, the faster the alarm goes off.
That's correct, because the effects of CO poisoning would be happening faster at the higher concentration versus at the lower concentration.
Without an alarm, Ashley Wilson had no idea the flu-like symptoms she was experiencing were being caused by carbon monoxide seeping into her Wisconsin apartment. It was slowly poisoning her and her family.
I was just thankful that we were able to get out of there, or make the phone call, get out of there, go to the emergency room, and survive it, because a lot of people don't.
This colorless and odorless gas at high concentrations can knock a person out almost instantaneously and stop their breathing within a minute.
Go.
Body cam video from New York State shows us what poisoning looks like. Officers barely pulled his family to safety. They passed out from CO poisoning shortly after calling 911.
Come on, buddy.
The only one left conscious, a toddler.
Well, it would be completely preventable if we would put detection in indoor spaces, but we don't.
We checked. There's no national requirement for carbon monoxide alarms anywhere, except now for the first time in federally funded public housing.
We're just doing some fine-tuning as relates to the new HUD requirement.
It took multiple poisoning deaths for the Department of Housing and Urban Development to make the change. 3 million of its units nationwide now have to have CO detectors by the end of this year.
Too much of our prevention has been focused on only the places that people might die, which is typically someplace you sleep. It's just as important in a place where people work, they go to school.
A recent CBS News investigation found that at least 10 states have no laws requiring carbon monoxide detectors in daycares. And in some states, like here in Wisconsin, they're not even required in schools. Were you surprised that it's not a requirement here?
Yeah, if you would have asked me before, if I'd have given an off-the-hip answer, it would have simply been, yeah, I'm sure we have them.
School principal Jack Canuck found out only after Ashley Wilson asked.
I'm surprised that very few have them anywhere in the state of Wisconsin, and even around the country. It's hit and miss.
Hit or miss, because even though Congress passed a law earlier this year that encourages states to use CO detectors, it does not require them.
Hi, Mommy.
Hi, Jonah.
So the Wilsons started a one-family campaign for change, making calls and sending email after email to their school.
Don't just get angry about it and just say, well, it is what it is, try and follow up.
So you have 2 in the building?
Yes.
Okay.
Principal Canuck showed us the change that his school and all the schools in the district made.
They're put up here, again tested twice a month by our building engineer.
Thanks to the Wilsons, they now all have alarms.
We're going into Grandma's house.
Ashley Wilson is now working with Wisconsin state legislators to require CO detectors in all schools statewide.
It was so easy to do, I don't know why someone else hasn't already done it.
Since carbon monoxide detectors aren't required in all buildings nationwide, first responders carry one of these on emergency calls, a portable CO alarm, something Ashley Wilson does now too, so her family is always protected. I'm Usher Qureshi, CBS News.
Coming up, things to do with the kids over their break. We'll have that story a little later on Mid-Morning. Scientists say they are a step closer to unlocking the mysteries of the universe as construction begins on the world's largest radio telescope. CBS's Tina Krause has that story from London.
An astronomical project is taking shape as workers begin to build what scientists say will be the world's largest radio telescope. The giant system, made up of nearly 200 dishes and more than 130,000 antennas, will be constructed across sprawling sites in South Africa and Australia.
The 2 complementary telescopes will be the ears
on either side of the planet, allowing us to listen to those murmurings from the deep universe.
The mega telescope will let scientists look back in time over the history of the universe when the very first stars and galaxies started to shine. The Square Kilometer Array project is said to be sensitive enough to detect some of the faintest signals in space and able to map the sky 135 times faster than similar telescopes.
Not only is this a great milestone as we commence construction, we're also setting out on an amazing scientific journey together.
A journey that will carry out some of the most precise tests of Einstein's theories and even search for extraterrestrials. Excitement over the venture turned a construction site in South Africa into a dance floor to mark the moment workers broke ground on a project that's truly out of this world. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
And experts say science still only understands 5% of the universe, so there's a long way to go. The radio telescope is expected to be completed by 2028. All right, your holiday joy is fading at the thought of entertaining your kids over winter break. You're not alone. Mandy Gaither has healthy ways to keep them busy without the use of screens this holiday season.
School is out and kids are home for the holidays. What now?
It's important to kind of have a plan of what you're going to do with your kids.
Cleveland Clinic pediatrician Gina Robinson says to let them sleep in some, but try to keep them to a regular schedule so as not to throw them off when it's time for school again. She says keeping them entertained should not include loads of extra screen time, while a little more than usual is acceptable over the holidays. Robinson says it's important to set a limit.
If your kids know beforehand that there is a time for screens and there's a limit on screens, then it doesn't tend to be such a big battle in the moment.
Cooking or baking holiday cookies and treats allows for some time together. You can also go to the library to find some cookbooks or holiday books to read over the break.
They can learn about how holidays are celebrated in different countries or different traditions. So it's a really good time to do that.
Robinson says watching movies together, going to a museum, or volunteering to help someone else during the holidays are all healthy ways to keep kids busy.
Getting your kids involved and thinking about the idea of giving back and giving and how good that feels, as well as receiving.
And if weather allows, get outdoors. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
While Robinson says having a plan for the winter break is good, there's no need to plan out every minute of every day. She says to make time for some relaxing as well. I say amen to that. A Connecticut mother has a lot to be grateful for this holiday season. She's been battling a disease her entire life and thought she might never be able to be a mother. Now she has a beautiful baby girl. Roger Susanen has their story.
Deja Dillon doesn't take a single moment for granted with her 4-month-old daughter, Kinsley.
This right here, is this what you always dreamed of?
Yes. The new mom has sickle cell disease, an inherited blood disorder which causes severe pain episodes.
You do have pain every single day, and then when you have those crises, it becomes excruciating.
Dillon always wanted to be a mother, but some doctors discouraged her from having children, concerned it would make her symptoms worse. So when she found out she was pregnant,
I was very joyful, but I was also scared, to be honest.
When a woman is pregnant, her body is already physiologically under a tremendous amount of stress. Having sickle cell disease adds to the burden, and it also can affect the placenta. There can be a higher incidence of individuals who have miscarriages because their hemoglobin is affected.
The team at UConn Health's New England Sickle Cell Institute and Maternal Fetal Medicine Clinic helped Dillon on the journey to a safe delivery for both mom and baby.
We made a plan for managing her pain, managing her hemoglobin, so she had regularly scheduled blood transfusions to support her pregnancy, which is one of the reasons why she was able to have a healthy baby girl.
Dillon developed preeclampsia, a high blood pressure condition during pregnancy, and needed a C-section at 36 weeks.
It was very overwhelming for me. They put it on my chest, and I just felt like everything was going to be fine back.
And it was. Kinsley was also born sickle cell free.
She was meant to be here, definitely meant to be here.
This family is counting their blessings for Kinsley's first Christmas. Roger Susanen, CBS News, Manchester, Connecticut.
About 70 to 100,000 Americans have sickle cell disease. That's according to the American Society of Hematology. Well, she had the voice of a generation. Now Whitney Houston's life is coming to a movie theater near you. That story is next on Mid-Morning. All right, this may be the biggest film of the holiday season. Whitney Houston was considered by many to be the voice of her generation, and now the late singer's life hits the big screen in Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody. Rick Damigella has a look.
Wake up! It's on! It's on! Listen! My dream, sing what I want to sing, be how I want to be.
A music legend's rise to fame is documented in Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody.
Reach as big an audience as I can.
Naomi Ackie stars as Houston and explains what it was like arriving on set in the late singer's shoes.
I was prepping for eight months and obviously then started shooting. And by that point, I was very eager to start working because there's only so much you can do without other actors around and the costume and everything. So there was a kind of a calmness that I think I started to feel. Then came the enjoyment and, you know, stress as well.
Ackie did thorough research to mimic Houston's onstage persona and dig into her legacy behind the scenes.
I just kind of immersed myself in the world to the point where at the time I was an expert in all things, you know. It's also but 2 years ago now, but you know, at the time I was extremely in that world, and I think that really helped me build up my confidence to try and tackle this.
Director Casey Lemons didn't want to shy away from the very public ups and downs in Houston's life.
She wanted to be a performer. She wanted the relationship with the audience was extremely important. Her ability to inspire people was extremely important to her, and yet at a certain point she had to kind of be everything to everyone, as she says, and you know, that was a lot.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
In London, renowned architects have been getting into the holiday spirit by constructing miniature cities entirely out of gingerbread. The mouth-watering displays took more than a month to build and feature some surprising ingredients. Helena Humphrey reports.
A city made from all things sugar and spice at the Museum of Architecture in London. From train stations to carousels, some of the finest minds in design have turned to gingerbread to construct a wonderland that's delighting the smallest visitors.
And they enjoy the colours and the animals. They recognise some of the cookies and thankfully not all of them at this stage.
And for the adults, there are more serious messages baked into the sweet displays, raising awareness about the protests in Iran as well as climate change.
Architects really care about the environment. They want to tackle the climate crisis in any way that they can. So they're looking at the kind of materials that they're using in terms of sourcing locally, using local builders and building techniques.
And they're overhauling their gingerbread recipe too, adding a special ingredient for staying power.
We've used charcoal powder in our gingerbread mix. So we've had to come up with a way to make it not too weak, not too dark, not too light.
While it might not make for the tastiest of bakes, the museum says that hasn't stopped little pieces from going missing here and there. Helena Humphrey, CBS News, London.
The architects also admit that while they bought more than 6 pounds of candy to decorate the houses, 2 pounds mysteriously went missing during construction. All right, coming up, our friend Kisha Landfair is here. Some ideas for your holiday. That's next on Mid-Morning. Welcome back, everyone. It is the most wonderful time of the year to host parties and buy gifts for all of the people that we love. And the hostess with the mostest is here, Kisha from K Landfair Entertaining and Design. Great to have you back.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. The parties are ongoing, and I think they will be through the first of the year.
But we're here to make it easy for you.
I love, so easy gift giving. And you've come with some really specific gifts that a lot of times when we start thinking about gifts, we're going down our list. Is it a man? Is it a woman? Is it a mom?
That's right.
You know, but
That's
you've
right.
gotten real specific here.
Well, I this year I said I wanted to be specific about my gift giving because a lot of people get things that they don't use. Like even my husband, I give him something and it's just sitting in the garage. We're not doing that this year. I need to make sure you're able to use these things in whatever.
So you have to know the person that you're giving the gift to, first of all, very well. So let's start on this side and tell us what you've got going on.
Okay, so I love, well, of course I love thrifting.
Yes.
And I love desserts. So a good thing to give somebody who's into like cooking or baking or, you know, loves to be in the kitchen, maybe like a kid or, you know, your aunt who loves to make those chocolate cakes and stuff like that. Bakery items are great. Something that you do not have to bake. I like to go in the thrift store and get, they have sets of dishes that are dessert plates that have cute holiday things on there. That's something easy. You can package that up and give that to somebody who loves to be in the kitchen or cook or something like that.
I love this. It's a great display for a cake, and then you've got this cute little dessert plates that go with it.
And they were probably like 50 cents a piece. So that's a cheap
At a thrift shop.
Yes, so that's a cheap gift.
And the other thing you added in there were the pinafores.
That's right.
Which tops this whole thing off. So somebody who likes to bake and possibly somebody who likes to entertain, because this helps them to display and, you know, I think you eat with your eyes first.
A perfect gift, and you can just package it in a little basket or a gift box, and there you go.
Love that. Fantastic. All right, let's move. What's next?
Okay, this is our little entertaining part, my little favorite part. So we love wine. I actually found, because you know, people like to participate even if they don't drink. So I have basically found, if you want to open that up, I have found non-alcoholic wine that I didn't even know existed.
Same.
So that is perfect. This is the non-alcoholic one. This is your regular one. But I mean, you can put this on the table, nobody would know anything.
And everybody feels festive.
That's right. And then you can, if you wanted to do as a hostess gift, cute little puffer coat as a wine carrier.
Keep it chilled on the way
there. That's right.
I love that.
It's insulated. We also have our champagne and strawberry daiquiri gummies. Pop those in your drink.
I think I hear some reactions from the control room. Am I back there in the back?
So those are perfect. You can actually put those on a little skewer and put them on top of your glass, or you can drop them inside your little champagne.
What are these?
These are hot cocoa balls that have whiskey in them.
Oh, wow.
So that's very festive as well.
Yes, it is.
Another cute little thing when you're bringing a hostess gift is a wine. This is a puzzle. So they actually have to figure out the puzzle before they can
get to the wine.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
Might be a little frustrating, but oh well.
All right, that's cool. I like that.
And these little square things are soapstone ice cubes. You put them inside your drinks, your whiskey, or they don't melt or water down your drink. So it keeps it cold and does not water it down, which is perfect.
So what do you do? You have to put these like
you
in
put
the
those in the freezer.
Oh, okay, I see.
And they don't do anything to your drink. They're just fine, but they don't water it down.
Marble ice cubes.
Yeah, and then they're all dainty because they come with their little bag.
Yeah, like that. Okay, these are really good gifts. And again, for very specific people, some people who like to entertain, people who like their wine, people who like to get festive with their drinks. These are all perfect. All right, move here. Are we ready here yet?
Okay, so now we're into people who are very into their wellness, mental health, and just whole body, soul, everything. A lot of people are getting into that now because, I mean, it's great to have your body great, but your mind has to be healthy as well.
Listen, I'm all about protecting the peace.
That's right.
It's my mantra.
So we have our CBD candles.
Okay.
A lot of people are into CBD now, so now they have them infused into the candles. That's perfect for our homebody who does not like to really go out and do everything, but this is great for them. Also, this is our little therapy journal. People who are, and you don't say you're going into therapy because something's wrong with you. You go. Sometimes you go to therapy because you want to make sure everything is great.
That's exactly
maintenance.
Right. I love this.
And also, somebody gave me a great idea. Even if you're not going to a therapist, if you have things that you need to write down to process, this is a good book for you.
I love a good journal. All right, so when we come back, the music lover and the sneaker lover in your life, there's something for them too. We'll talk about it when we come back. All right, we're back with Kisha from Landfair Entertaining and Design, and she's giving us great gift ideas for the people in your life based on what they love, and we love that. So music lovers.
Okay, so I am an avid music lover. And
your husband's a DJ,
yes,
of course
so. Hey,
yes.
So, and then I love vintage type things. So I like to go into the thrift store and find old albums. Old albums of like my era when I was smaller, even my mom's era. And for people who love that, like my husband, is a great gift for them because it's hard to find these albums now.
It is.
It's very hard. And then when you go in, they're like $1.99. versus somebody who's probably trying to sell it on some other site and they charge you an arm and a leg.
Exactly
but
right.
thrift is where it is.
There's just a lot of joy in not downloading, like finding that and hearing that vinyl
right.
on the record player. Also, get them a record
Even
player
just getting
too.
the covers. Like, I reminisce on all the old covers. I'm like, oh, I used to listen to that when I was little.
You read all the backs of them.
That's right.
So what you brought today, which I love, was Michael Jackson, Madonna. Love Madonna growing up, and Marvin Gaye.
And we also have, for our couples that like to travel, this is a card box where it has every destination, every restaurant, everything that you need to try before you probably leave this earth.
Love that. All right, sneaker lovers, we're going to run out of time. I want to make sure we get to this.
Sneaker lovers and plant lovers, we have our plant book and then our sneaker book. Our sneaker book is good. It has every collectible sneaker in here. It tells you everything about the sneaker, how much it costs, everything. So that's great for a sneakerhead.
And there are a lot of young people who are really into like the J's and all these vintage sneakers.
This is the encyclopedia for them.
It's amazing. You can find that in a book. The plant lovers. Now, where do we find these plant books?
The plant books, you can actually find these plant books in thrift stores. People who thought they were going to have a green thumb, did not have a green thumb, decided to donate.
Needed some work.
I pick it up.
Okay.
Puffer jackets for dogs. My little Mocha's going to have her because we have a snow coming, so she's going to be great.
I love all of these. These are all really good ideas. The point here, though, I think, is that know who the person is and know what they like, and be intentional about buying something they will truly appreciate and use.
That's exactly right.
All right. Wonderful ideas, as always. Merry Christmas to you, Kisha.
Merry
always
Christmas.
Good to see you. All right. That is the news, everybody. We'll see you back here. No, this is not the news. It's mid-morning. We'll see you back here next time.